Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house, and man, have we got a lineup for you today? It is a lazy Sunday here in New Zealand, at the bottom of the world. We are in the future, and yes, daylight savings has changed, and so our clock's gone back an hour. So our show's a different time now for about an hour. So that's pretty crazy. And of course, it's sunny outside, which is incredible because the last couple of days have been raining after we had a huge, awesome summer down here. Just sun, 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 and then a couple of days of rain, stormy rain, and then sunny again today. So it's a really bright day, and of course, many of the charts are looking fantastic. And of course, today I'm going to have a great time because I'm talking about the battle of the printer tokens, which is going to be incredible. This is the latest craze. It is absolutely incredible on Pulse Chain, and of course, Pulse Chain, one of the biggest forks and the biggest chains out there, and it's doing very, very well. There's a lot of opportunity there, and of course, coming off the bottom as well means that mad gains potential is huge. Liquidity is set right. It is going to be awesome on Pulse Chain. So we're going to get into the crypto markets first, then we're going to cover Pulse Chain, and then we're going to get into the battle of the printer tokens. And of course, crypto traders are making massive, massive gains. Amazing stuff. Now, we also have a Superman's Crypto Gems. This is on Telegram, and we have a free alpha list in there, so you definitely got to get on there. I'm going to post a list of that now before we get into the rest of the show. So make sure you join up today and share it around with your friends because you don't want to miss out. We had 5 tokens in double-digit gains. They have been performing very well from day to day. And of course, at the moment, we had one of them do a 2x. So you have to jump into the chat to find out what that was. That has been performing incredibly up massive, massive X's over the last a week or so. So you definitely got to get into Superman's Crypto Gems. I'm going to post the link to that in the chat there. So you got to join up to it, share it around, and get in there because it's a free list. It's cost you nothing, and you're going to hear a lot about a lot of cool stuff in there. It's pretty amazing. Now we're building that up. I think we're on day 6 or something. So get in there, folks. We're heading up into growth there, and you don't want to miss that because we're matching teams, really amazing teams with the people. So you don't want to miss out on that. Lots of cool stuff coming there. All right, so we're going to be doing lots of cool stuff over the next probably 10 days. We've got lots of huge plans. Keep a lookout for that. And, smash the follow button on Rumble, smash the subscribe button on YouTube, and, of course, follow on X, which we're streaming on all those 3 platforms now. And it's really wonderful. We just added those X and Rumble in the list the last couple of weeks. In fact, we've only been on X for 3 days in terms of streaming, and we've been on Rumble for about 22 days or something like that. And you guys are amazing over on Rumble, so a big shout out over there. Big shout out YouTube, big shout out on X. So let's get into it. We've got a few comments. We've got Brian in the house there. Says, guess you changed your clocks. Yeah, we had daylight savings changed there. Clocks got, I think, put back an hour. So I guess we gain an hour today as opposed to lose one. So that was pretty cool. All right, so let's get straight into it. We've got Hedgehog as well. Woohoo! Get excited, that's for sure. Hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday up in the Northern Hemisphere, spending it with family, and it's probably getting into late afternoon, evening, depending on whether you're on the West Coast or East Coast. So I hope you're having a good time out there as well. But without further ado, let's get into some of the market results in this weekend following Trump's Liberation Day last week, which I actually think is going pretty well. So we're going to be talking about that. Trump is certainly feeling good about that. And I think it's going to be incredible for the United States moving forward. As he talks about, it's kind of like we had to do the operation on the patient. The patient was sick. And of course, running decades of deficits worldwide and had to be corrected, right? So it's the surgery's been done, he says, and it's time to heal. We already see many, many countries already coming to lower their tariffs. So it looks like not only Trump is going to heal America and, of course, get America into the golden age, but also going to actually deliver world actual fair trade and free trade. So how ironic is that? And of course, as you guys know, many of the liberal economists have been wrong for decades. And of course, trying to manage the decline in the West and transfer wealth. Well, that's all about to change. Thank goodness. Again, goodness for Donald Trump. So that's looking pretty good. Let's get into the details, though. Once again, join up to our Super Crypto Gems. And the other one, of course, is our Discord links in the video description. Become part of our community, man. We've got an incredible community and Pulse Chain. We are ramping it up. If you guys can't tell, we are lifting the energy on Pulse Chain. We are going out into the community. We are making really good friends out there, and that's what we want. We're a genuine bunch of people, and we want to do well on Pulse Chain. We want everyone else to do well also. So get into our community for sure. We got Wookie in the house there. Hey, Wookie. Wookie's lost an hour. Gee, yeah, Wookie's in New Zealand as well, and he's obviously had the time change there. But I actually think we gained it. Didn't we gain an hour? I'm pretty sure we gained an hour, guys. I'm sure the clock went back. Anyway, so we'll talk about that later on. Daylight savings, for goodness sake. We got Benjamin in the house there. Hey, good to see you, Benjamin. Love your info and take on the global markets and President takes. I appreciate that, Ben. Big shout out to you, crushing out there as well. If you're not following Ben on social media, definitely give him a follow. We got Pulse Chain Animal in the house there. PDI to $1. Absolutely. That people are out there looking forward to that. Now, as you guys know, I have gone from kind of neutral to against PDI. But hey, look, I try to keep open-minded. So yeah, if it can do some magic there, if they can take over the make a contract and fix it up, then there's definitely a path to that. There is definitely a path. But of course, at the moment, it does have lots of issues, which I've outlined many times before. But once again, you always got to keep in mind in crypto. But you do have to, rank the pros and cons. Don't you have to rank the pros and cons and make a decision for yourself? So there we go. All right, so let's get straight into the crypto results at the moment. We are on Saturday, I guess, evening or afternoon in the US. We're on Sunday in the early afternoon. It's only just turned midday here in New Zealand. And we've got the crypto markets just tapering a little bit, sort of, let's say, moving sideways, a little bit pinkish, but, not down too much there. Bitcoin at the moment at $83,653, down 0.2%, let's say. Bitcoin dominance, 60.77%. You guys know that in the last bull market in 2021, the dominance got up to around 70%, and then it started to move down as altcoin season began. We've had a lot of technology maturity. We've had a lot of market changes, a number of tokens, and of course the advancement of and maturity of crypto. A lot of more investment vehicles. Obviously, everybody pretty much is on the field now that can play, and we're going to see them play in the future. It's be interesting to see how hard this gets before we actually get to altcoin season. So I think that's coming up, and I think it's going to be pretty amazing. So that is Bitcoin at the moment, holding up pretty well, I think. Remember, it got to a high of about 108,000, now at 83.6. I think that's looking pretty good, especially amongst tariffs. Now, the question is, people, is it decoupling? Is it decoupling from the stock market? Well, it certainly has the last couple of days. Stock market went down about 10 to 12%, and here we are looking pretty solid at 83,600. That is a bullish sign to me. We also know that a lot of capital is expected to come in Q2, April to June. So we could see a lot of bullish stuff happening there. Michael Saylor's definitely bullish, and of course talking about buying. He doesn't care what the price is. For him, this is super cheap. You remember, in 20 years' time, he's forecast $13 million Bitcoin, so he's in it for the long run. That's for sure. Now let's get to Ethereum. $1,807 is down. About 4,300%. Ethereum's definitely lagging, right? I think we all know that. Certainly when Bitcoin was rallying to 108, Ethereum was really lacking that extra zoom. Look, I still think it's going to have its day in the sun. We might still get those, 10K, 15K price targets in the future once we get to that real apex of the run. Not so sure anymore we'll get to 2025, but definitely 10, maybe 15 is possible if Bitcoin starts doing this 150 to 250. I just think it's going to eventually, get that altcoin season and start leveraging there. Now, obviously, it's allowed a lot of second layers to eat its lunch a little bit, but I think, and some of it's, EIP as well, upgrades. But I still think that it's going to have its day in the sun. It's got a lot of institutional support behind it. Now we've got BNB down 0.6%, $593. Solana at $120 at down 1.6%. ADA down 0.9% at 65 cents. Tron down 0.2% at 23.7 cents. And then we've got Litecoin here as well. It is down 2% at the moment. That's on the old charts there. Now, let's move over to CoinGecko, and we're going to have a quick look at the market cap as we zoom through towards Pulse Chain updates, and then we're going to get into the battle of the printer tokens, which I am so excited about. The battle of the printer tokens. It sounds so badass. And, of course, the crypto traders there making mad gains sitting on those tokens and trading them as well. All right, so let's get into it. We've got the market cap at the moment, 2.76 trillion, down 3% today. But still holding pretty nicely. As you guys know, if we converge onto gold, gold pulled back like the rest of the market and stock market, but crypto held up. And if we converge on that, that's a 10x from here. That's up to probably $27 trillion. We could easily get to there. I think gold at the moment somewhere between 20 and 25, probably about 23 maybe trillion, somewhere in that ballpark. So we definitely can do, let's say, a 9x, 10x from here is definitely doable if we start converging as the ultimate digital gold, as the CEO of BlackRock has talked about. Now, in terms of some of the rankings, we've got Bitcoin at number 1, Ethereum number 2, XRP at number 3, Solana at number 4, Dogecoin at number 8, the Cardano at number 9, and Tron at number 10. And of course, we've been following, a little bit with the big project that came out, Pi Network. Now, Pi Network got sold off big time, right? Let's quickly look at that. It's got 60 million pioneers. It's been around for about 6 years, since 2019. It was one of the two main phones mining tokens that you could have. The other one, of course, many of you remember, was Electronium, which really actually failed, despite the amazing leadership in the UK, just did not deliver. And I think ultimately they probably took the wrong path to value. But hey, look, that was worth a try. And of course, this one here has managed to get itself into the top rankings after 6 years, although it's very controversial, highly controversial, because of the centralized nature of it, the KYC, things like that. They have their own blockchain, but the KYC is over the top. The regulation, the payouts over the top. They may not pay out a lot of people. There's lots of controversies here. But anyway, it rallied, it launched. They failed to get Binance on here too, right? Because Binance plays its own game. But they're up to $2.93 on the 27th. They launched on the 20th of February. 27th, they got the $2.93. So it was a big rally. And then they came all the way down here. Look at that, all the way down. And people still haven't got a lot of their coins. So like big part of haven't got a lot of coins. Most of the coins are still locked. And so there's controversy that they won't get them. So this is at 47 cents. And then it bounced, had a big rally overnight, got up to 74 cents. So a really cool rally on that, actually. And then came back down again to 58. And now is pushing back up. So we'll see whether this manages to get back over $1 and starts doing another hyper rally for the old Pi Network. It's got a lot to prove there, and there are a lot of problems with it, but it is a huge community. So that's where you're getting that network effect. So let's say they had 60 million pioneers. They might have maybe 10 to 12 million maybe engaged. We'll see how many. They had about 1.5 million, I think it was, for PiFest, which ran between the 14th of March to the 21st. So we'll see how they go, but it's certainly something we're going to watch, because potentially it could be a big one for the bull market if they get things right. But they've got a lot of things to fix up, including their communication. So that's Pi Network. Let's quickly look at some of the top movers in the top 100 over the last 24 hours. What looks like Pi Network was the big mover. So at least we covered that, right? We've got OKB. They're up 6.5%, and Story IP up 3.7%. They're the top three. And funnily enough, someone was talking about PDI and Maker on Pulse Chain. Well, Maker on Ethereum there is up 1.4% at number 5 there. Now, the top week looks like EOS was the top one for the week, 37.4%. So a big move there. Cosmos was up 12.8% for the week. OKB number 3 up 8.5%. Maker up 3.9%, and Tron sitting there number 5 up 2.1%. And of course, you guys know Tron had minted Tether had minted another $1 billion of UST, and Tron, I think it's number 2. Was number 1 with stablecoin dominance, I think, but it's now number 2 as far as I remember. And that really boosted the Tron chain there. So yeah, and Justin Sun, of course, recently presenting at blockchain conference, all that good stuff. But Tron there, pretty degen in blockchain. Let me know in the chat if you guys have played around on Tron. I used to do it on the old Tron dApps. You remember all the games like farm games, cows and sheep, and you would go and farm and harvest the farm. I mean, it was a bit of fun, right? There's some crazy DeFi out there, right? That's some crazy DeFi. You guys got to remember that. So let me know. Come on, confess it. If you were playing on some of those games like I did back in the day, and let us get on there. Maybe you're still playing some of those. They're pretty wild, and pretty speculative, right? All right, so looking at the top gainers over the total of CoinGecko, we've got Undead's game there up 111%, Fun Token up 46%, and Guns up 33%. Trending at the moment is Solidus AI tech, and I know many of you like AI, so maybe that's something for you. Luxo out there is up 8.7%. That's trending, and Titcoin of all names is there as well. I'll try to keep this channel PG, but sometimes it's difficult. All right, let's move on into Bitcoin. This is where Bitcoin is, and you guys can see we've got the 200-day and the 50-day. 50 days in yellow, 200 days in orange, and we have got a golden cross. But is it going to cross and become a death cross? We don't want that, right? We do not want that. Because we don't want to re-rate downwards 30% or something crazy. We already had a re-rate, so let's fingers crossed that we're still hitting on this golden crypto moon, which I'm still expecting, right? Still expecting 150 to 250k minimum range there with a 200k average for this year, with an upside possibility of 400k. So that's kind of where we're heading on 25, 26. I'm expecting definitely the head towards the 400k, if not higher. It's definitely possible. And of course, by 28, what year are we? 26, 27, maybe 27, 28, we could see potentially, depending on obviously on the benefit on the back of Donald Trump, right? Not if the Democrats ever got back in again, then you can kiss a lot of this goodbye probably. But if Trump is getting us in the golden age of America, then we're looking, $1 million Bitcoin, probably not by 2030, but maybe even by 27, 28, somewhere in that, in there. Could happen earlier. There's a lot of money coming into Bitcoin and crypto, so don't be surprised. So this orange circle, of course, is the volatility that we expected around the tariffs and the Liberation Day. So we're definitely seeing that, right? That's definitely no surprise. But crypto is holding up really, really well. And of course, we've got what's coming up on the 9th, the Wednesday. We have got the higher tariffs, right? So we had the baseline 10% tariffs on the 5th. We got the higher tariffs coming up next week. So we're not fully out of the volatility range. So next week could still be a bit volatile. We've also got inflation coming out, right? Remember that CPI is coming out. I think that was Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's Thursday though, coming out for that as well. So we've got two big things: Wednesday, the higher tariffs, and of course for but for countries, and also Thursday, the CPI as well for the inflation data, and of course that will affect the Fed and interest rate outlook. So we'll see how that goes too. Hopefully it's going to be either flat or a bit down. Who knows? It might be projected to be slightly higher. We'll see how it lands once we get there. All right, so that's kind of where we are for the Bitcoin. At the moment, we've got the 200-day at 85,350, the 50-day at 87,000, and we don't want that to cross. If it does cross, we want it to be really, really short lived, and then on to the next golden cross if it does. So let's see how we go. Going to need some big green candles to save us there, but maybe we'll get them. We'll see how we go. All right, or we have a short death cross. It's a very short one, hopefully no longer than a week, right? All right, so that's kind of where we are there. And at the moment, we did see the last couple of days that the ETF flows into Bitcoin have been slightly negative, but not huge, just slightly negative there. And we're waiting for another green wave of institutional money and maybe even US states and sovereign state money coming in through these ETFs. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. Certainly, IBIT's been a big performer, right? IBIT's been doing very well amongst those ETFs. And finally, getting to April. So at the moment, we're on the 5th of April in the US, 6th of April here, and we're sitting at 0.8%. So just a little bit green at the moment for April. We've got a long way to go into April, right? So fingers crossed that we get a very bullish, maybe double-digit green month for April, and then May, June start ramping up. Maybe we get 20, 30%. Who knows? That's going to be pretty exciting. We have got a lot of evidence for capital flowing into crypto from this quarter onwards and being delayed from the first quarter, which was obviously impacted by the big Trump stuff there, a special event, as we would say. So that's kind of it on the crypto for the general overview. Now we're going to get into Pulse Chain, and I'm getting really excited to start talking about the battle of the printer tokens, because that is badass. And of course, I put a big poll out. Yesterday with the battle amongst different tokens, and we got a really great result in there, a really good engagement. So big shout out to everybody from all those different printer tokens, all the traders out there. It was really, really cool. Now I'm going to get into a couple of comments, and then we're going to get into Pulse Chain, and then talk about the battle of the printer tokens. And of course, crypto traders are making massive gains out of that. So let's see who else we've got jumped in here. We've got Pulse Chain, Altcoin in house there. What WebShift investor ecosystem as the smallest market caps? Do we know, says Pulse Chain. Well, we'll get to that soon enough. And DG and Hexkins in the house there. Superman, lots of love. A big shout out to you as well. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. And certainly the printer tokens are exciting. They're definitely giving mad gains. So doing pretty well there. Now, what do we mean by printer tokens? So they're basically printer tokens. They often have taxes, they have arbitrage, they have webs, LP webs. They have, some sort of administration to some degree. And of course, they drop tokens to your wallet automatically from the volume. So, these are doing very, very well. So you just sort of hold the token and get dropped like Pulse coins. You get dropped Finvesta in your wallet. It's really, really cool. We're going to look at some of those as well. Look at some examples of printer tokens there. It's kind of a modified form of what we used to call tax tokens, which were generally not very good in the old days, but these days they've been matched up with WebLPing and, of course, arbitrage and other mechanisms like that. So they're doing pretty incredible these days. And of course, Pulse Chain's coming off the bottom, so there is some potentially some really good roadmap for them to go to as well. Now, anyone mining Pi here? Yeah, I don't know. No one's actually said they are, but I'm sure there's a couple out there. I'm sure there's a couple. I know one did, says Wookie. Wookie knows one. Nice. Brian says, I held Tron for 3 days in 2017. That's hilarious, dude. That is so hilarious. We got Wookie says, must be a human thing. You would never set a Wookie on holding them, says Wookie. And Wookie is holding Beast. Are you holding Beast, are you? Yeah, Beast is one of the printer tokens, and that's doing amazing. Hey, big shout out to Neil for shares there. So Neil's, I did a post yesterday as well, another post on the top 5 projects coming to Pulse Chain, and Neil's part of the team that's doing Signum Oracle, our second Oracle coming to Pulse Chain, and of course, actually, it's going to have a lot of bells and whistles that we don't have in Fetch, and we're very excited about that. We already know some projects that are going to be using that, and it's going to be amazing, including Tetra, I guess, could be there as well. Now, good info, Superman. I appreciate that, Neil. Big shout out to you and your team, doing amazing there with Signum Oracle, and of course, Tetra. Tetra is going to be a game changing for your traders. You definitely want to find out a bit more about Tetra coming up. Both of those are launching as expected day on the 11th of April. So look forward to those. We're going to be covering those as well. All right, so kind of cool. All right, so we're going to get back into it. Let's get into the Pulse Chain results and talk about that. So let's go. And we've got Pulse Chain on day 694. So remember, the Pulse Chain was a full system state fork of Ethereum on the 10th of May, 2023. And then it went live on the 13th of May, 2023. So this is 694 days later. And here we are, right? Here we are. And it's a lovely weekend to look at the numbers. So that's what we're going to do here. We got quadruple 0229 on Pulse. Now, Pulse is the main coin for the Pulse Chain, so it's the fee coin, just like ETH is for Ethereum, and it is down 0.5% at the moment, but sitting at 23% of the mean sacrifice price. So the way that this was funded was through a new approach from Richard Hart, of course, a rebel founder in crypto, and probably the best caller at market. He's called the best number of calls on market calls out of anyone I've ever seen, and he's also very good at price calls as well. We got PulseX at the moment is only just defeated the SEC, and we're going to find out what the extension, whether they can get an appeal, some sort of appeal through, or at least another form of their case, which was so badly written. That's coming up on the 21st of April. So it's another thing we're looking forward to coming up there. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0197 is down 3.7%. Now, PulseX has been going up quite aggressively on a big long uptrend versus Pulse, and that's been a really interesting trend on Pulse Chain. And we've got the buy and burn sitting at 1.36 trillion tokens are now being bought up and burned by PulseX. It's going very well. Now, PulseX, of course, is the big DEX that Richard Hart founded on top of Pulse Chain, and it is a dual token system. So it's got PulseX, which has a buy and burn, and then it has incentive token, which is the incentive token for the farms. And recently we saw this get the inflation get cut by Richard Hart's team by 20x. So now the inflation is only 5x what it was. And what did that do? Well, not only did it, slow down the rate of growth of the incentive token, so we've got about 55 million tokens, but it actually thinned out the liquidity pools, right? So I think we lost about 200 million or something like that in liquidity, and so we've got very thin liquidity pools over on Pulse Chain now. And so what does that mean? Well, that means that the price can move down and up very fast, and of course, we've seen it go down very fast recently, but that also means that it can go up very fast without much buy pressure. So that's going to be huge, right? So how do tokens go up? Well, you have net buy pressure, right? So more buying than selling over any particular date range, right? So that's kind of how it works. And a lot of the pools are on what they call Uniswap V2, which means that it's X times Y equals K formula is in place, and it means that it moves up at a square, right? So it goes up very fast. The more buying you have, the faster it goes up. And it's also true on the way down. So it's going to be really interesting to see. You could see some massive moves on Pulse Chain to the upside, as you have seen, and to the downside. So don't get caught out by those sort of moves, because it's very important that you don't get tricked out when we have events like that. Obviously, we had a bit of drama around PDI Maker, a bit of drama around the exploiter that was using PDI Maker, and we're going to keep watching that space. But things seem to have calmed down for the most part. despite some minting from that exploiter as well. Now, the incentive token at the moment, $1.17, down 5.2% at the moment. So it's the biggest mover down so far today. And we've got the supply, as I say, around 55 million. Hex at the moment, of course, one of the top 4 coins in the last bull market. 2021 was the top 4, did a 10,000x. And if you had managed to capture some of that value at the top, you would have been pretty happy. And I know I saw some people buying Lamborghinis, some people buying all sorts of stuff there, and then some of them were only 12 years old. I'm just kidding. No, but some of them were pretty young, and they were living it up large there. So we got Hex at the moment is at 53/100th of a penny, EHEX at 15/100th of a penny. The combined price of Hex on Pulse Chain and Hex on Ethereum is 68/100th of a penny. It is a super good buy right now. And of course, recently, the last recent high was at about 3.3 cents. And that meant that a million Hex on Pulse Chain would have cost you $33,000. But now it will cost you $6,800. So you do the numbers, and things can move within a month, right? Things can move within a month. So let's see where that goes. It's going to be pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy stuff. We've got a couple more comments in the chat, therefore I'm going to move on into the overall market stuff. So we're almost up to the battle of the printers. Let's see here. We got lots of love there from Diamond Hands, looking good. What else there? DJ Hex sends I mined Pi for years now. Lol, lol, lol. The same here says Pulse Chain Animal. Nice. I said there was a few people, Wookie. I said there was a few people. DGN says wrestled kept keeping a Pi node running for a month, but I gave up with it always crashing. Never released a Linux version. It was only Windows. That's right. Yeah. All right. So I think they might have Mac now. For those, but for the nodes, running nodes for that. All right, let's get into the results for the overall ecosystem. We're going to speed through this because I want to get to the battle of the printers. And we're sitting at about 2.8 million beats, so pretty good value at the moment on Pulse Chain. In the weekend, it is 2 cents for a PulseX swap. Looking at the validators, we've got a full decentralized exchange chain, 48,827 validators at the moment. And we've got many ways now of validating on Pulse Chain. I'm going to do a whole video on all those methods. So they're coming up. You can look out for that. Some of them are really good yields too. So we're going to be doing that. Validator X is one I'm thinking of right here with Haunted. Validators are earning about 10 to 12%. And of course, doing a dedicated validating, but Validator X is doing like 60, 70%. So there's some amazing yields there for relatively low risk. And so we're going to look at a lot of these different options now. I hope you guys are going to look forward to that because, it's always good to have a conservative part of your portfolio, right? So that's very important. Let's get into in saying that, Pulse, all crypto is pretty speculative to some degree, but there's safe and there's speculative, right? It's kind of within that zone. Now we're sitting at about $82.5 million, so we're pretty similar. We've been like this for a couple of days now at this level on the bridge. So this is kind of a health check, right? So we're going to keep a look at that. DAI is down about 100K, just over 100K though. So we have had a drop in DAI over the last 24 hours from the looks of it. USDC sitting at 15.7 million. What we got? The Coast at 9.2. That's been pretty steady, and USD Tether there at 5.9 million. Obviously, ETH and Bitcoin. ETH is down a little bit there, and Bitcoin's down a little bit. And EHEX there is, I guess, maybe possibly down a little bit. They're sort of down about 4%, wasn't it? So there we go. All right, so those are the numbers. Let's get to the volumes. We're just about at the battle of the printers, and we got about $19.1 million in the lazy weekend. So this is the first time I've seen it drop below 20 million for a while. We've been sitting at about between 20 and 22 million for the last, 4 or 5 days, I think it is, maybe about there. We had big volumes when the price was getting smashed on Pulse Chain, but it's settled down, and we've had a bit of a recovery, which has been quite nice. In fact, all my targets for the recovery have been hit, which was very pleasant to see. Now, those targets are based on probability, and so that's kind of where we are. We're taking where the probability where the market will go, and they've pretty much hit all those targets, which has been pretty cool. Another good reason why you should join Gem Hunters and, of course, our Discord as well. So definitely join up to that. In fact, Brian's posted the link to our Discord. We've got community memberships there, $12.50 a month. And we've got Strategy Club, which is top tier stuff. You want to get into that. That is $35 a month. So definitely check that out. We also got a crypto course for beginners to advanced. And that's really, really good. So you want to check that out. That's $74.99 and 15 videos. Once you finish that, you're going to know a heck of a lot about crypto. So it's a perfect course to bring on people that are sort of new to intermediate levels. Is probably a good way to put it. So definitely check that out. And, of course, get out into our free alpha list there in Telegram. Join up today. We are looking to grow. We're looking to help a lot of teams and a lot of people, get really good value. So you don't want to miss out there. And who knows, we could have airdrops and other things coming to that group. So keep a lookout for that. And we've got a few things up our sleeve coming as well. So definitely check out the Superman Crypto Gem Hunters there. All right, so let's get into it. It's going to go into the total best performers at the moment. So at the moment, we got Fundamentals. That is up 7.45%. Treasury, they're up 7.9%. OG Heart, they're 6.70%. So some big movers in the last 24 hours on Pulse Chain. We got Treasury Bill there up 52%. Pika up 50%. What else there? Free Palestine's been around for a while. Well, the IDF definitely helped with them. We got 33% there. We got Beast up 22%. We got Love.io up 18%. There, Fresh Starter. There's a new one here coming out. 23 hours Fresh Starter. It's a launch, up 16% at the moment. We're going to have a little bit of a look at Fresh Starter. Fresh Start Shower. It looks like some sort of community thing. That chart there is over the last, 23 hours. They got a little website here. We have a brief little look at that. You can check it out in your own time, but Fresh Start Shower there. Who am I and why? So it's got a little bit there. My dream has always been to provide free clothes, haircuts, and hot showers to the homeless men. So there we go. That's one there from Fresh Start Shower, I should say. That's a new arrival on Pulse Chain. We got Remember. So we got a lot of printer tokens are dominating, as you can see. On the old Pulse Chain here at the moment. So another one there, of course, Remember, one of the most popular ones, up 15%. Teddy Bear making a big move up there, 15%. We're going to look at that a bit too. In fact, we might look at this the Teddy Bear dime. Now, we know that Moon King, one of the big influencers on Pulse Chain and crypto, has been pushing this again, Teddy Bear, I think, a little bit. I know he's gone big on PDGC, but I'm sure he's still involved with this Teddy Bear, whether he's public or not about it. But that is where we are at the moment on this one. And what else we got going? We got Beast is up 13% there. Pump Tires, the main coin for the pump tires that Richard Hart launched, that is up 8.6%. Gas Money, another printer token, is up 7% there. So for Vesta Ecosystem, doing absolutely dominating at the moment over on the old Pulse Chain. Thinking of dominating, Dominance is up as well. Another printer token, 4.8%. Doing pretty well. We got another Pump Tires there as well. Bitcoin here, that is up 5%. And then X Game. You guys know, if you saw my top 5 list coming, X Game is on the top 5 list, and it is coming soon to Pulse Chain as well as Base Chain and other chains. It is going to have a big influencer referral there, and anybody that spreads it around. And of course, in that game, they're going to have a 30% referral. So it's going to go. This could go super viral. Could be a killer app for Pulse Chain. Keep your eyes out on X Game. This is by Randy Alaski, a big influencer in Pulse Chain. His friend Firewhale is the one that's funding this, and I think it's Eric from DragonX on TitanX that is the one that's developing it with his team. So this is coming to Pulse Chain very, very soon. So there's a lot of alpha drop. It just keep dropping the alpha. What's going on here? You definitely want to get into Superman Crypto Gems, that's for sure. Join up today. We're just across it all. We're going to get even more and more projects. It's going to be so much fun. Now, I'm just going to have a quick look over on Rumble. Big shout out over there. Mate, if you're on Rumble, get into the chat there because this is what it's all about, community, right? And it's good to see we got Sharimi there. And of course, good to see you as well. Great. Welcome to the chat there. And in fact, it's great to see you. So everybody else that's watching on Rumble, get into the chat, get your opinions in there. We'd love to see that. So very, very cool. All right, let's jump over here. We've got quite a few coins going. We've got Incognito as well. We're going to be talking about that. We've got Cumamon. So these are all up on the green at the moment, some more than others. We've got Monomics. We've got Missor. These are all printer tokens. You can see printer tokens are dominating the top performance on Pulse Chain. It is hot right now. It's been hot for several months, and it is doing very, very well. Now, I want to get into some of this. So if you're in the chat there, put in your favorite printer token. Many of you, if you're in printer tokens, you'll know which ones you're talking about because you're in them. So let us know there as well. We got Hexvader in house there. Howdy, folks. Good to see Hexvader. And we also got High Expectations. Haha, yeah, that's clock changes threw me off this morning. Yeah, we've had daylight savings, so I think I'm an hour early. Am I an hour early? Just let me know in the chat because it's always a bit off-putting, but yeah, it's kind of the play. Diamond Hand says up X and PDC. That's his game. Well done, man. Yeah. Hey, look, we put out a post on PDC the other day talking about how we think could have big X's. It's quite easily it could do 100, 150X. With if you have Pulse Chain doing X's and you have PDC ratio doing X's to Pulse Chain, then suddenly you go 50X times 50x times 2 is like, it's 100x, right? So you're just moving up there. 10 tens is 100. So you move up pretty quickly on the big X's. And that's why, crypto traders are making mad gains. And we're coming off the bottom here with Pulse Chain. So some of these Predator tokens could do absolutely amazing. We've got Brian says here in Phoenix, you are an hour later. Am I an hour later? Okay, maybe I'm an hour later. All right, so I'm an hour later, guys. That actually makes more sense now that I'm thinking about it. There we go. So hey, look, I've just been focused on getting out there on the X and stuff. I haven't been focused on daylight savings, although I knew the time had changed, which is pretty crazy. All right, it's so trippy stuff, especially when you're not focusing on it. What else there? We got some more comments here. I got another comment coming up here. I'm going to look at that before we move on because we're going to get into these printer tokens. So those are the overview. We've got about 237,000 transactions in the lazy weekend, and that's kind of where we are. But let's get into the battle of the printer tokens, because that's where we're heading. And I'm having fun with this. I hope you guys are too. It's looking pretty good. And we got cool comments over on Rumble. So big shout out over there with Brian. We got Sharimi there as well. And we also got Wookie in the house as well over on Rumble. And we've got a great crowd over there growing. The crowd is growing over on Rumble. Don't forget, if you're on Rumble, definitely repost it and share it around. And definitely leave comments afterwards. I will answer those too. Get in there as well. Unless you're one of those fake marketing bots. If you're one of the fake marketing bots, then I'm not responding to that. That's all I can say. All right, so let's get into this poll here. Look at this poll. And I'm going to move to a bigger view. Let's see if we can move to the bigger view. Now that's a little bit covered there. So let's go to here. So what is your favorite printer token on Pulse Chain? This is what we had. So we had 922 views on this so far. And we've got 8 hours left in this poll. So 8 hours left in this poll. It's been running for 16 hours. And we had 156 votes. Which is pretty impressive. And we did try to reach out to all the communities so that they could get a fair vote. I'm not sure how Incognito did with that, but we definitely got huge numbers here as well. So we basically got 3 teams and 4 tokens. And the reason why one team's got 2 tokens is because they're dominating most of the printer tokens right now, which is OG WebChef. And we did cover his ecosystem the other day here on the show. Now, his 2 tokens are Remember and Beast. And then we got PDDC, and then we've got Incognito, right? So Cabell's out there also making these kind of tokens, and so we got other players on the field. In fact, I'm going to go through quite a few of these things. So let's see how that goes in the future. I'm going to start breaking down some of these project teams, who's running them, all sort of stuff. That's going to be a fun show for sure. We're going to actually have I'll probably do some little PowerPoint presentation just to make it really easy to follow on that one. Hey, we got Lunacy Point in the house there. Lots of love. Big shout out to you. Hey. Welcome to the chat there. And let's get into it. What's your favorite printer token on Pulse Chain? So far, we've got 8 hours to go. So it's not quite finished yet. I'll probably bring up the final results tomorrow in tomorrow's live stream. But we've got Remember at 13.5% at number 2. We got PDC at number 1. I don't know how PDC came through, because PDC were actually behind, and then they've come through. What a power community PDC there. And maybe I shouldn't be surprised, because we've got Diamond Hand in the house, and he's got UpX and PDC. But I know that these communities are massive at the moment. So maybe it was just a matter of reach. I don't know. Let's see. But then Beast came in. So PDC came in at 46.2% out of 156 votes. And then Beast came in at 37.2%. And then Incognito, I should say, came in at 3.2%. So definitely Incognito community. I'm pretty sure we reached out to them, but I'll have to double check that with MV, who's in our team. And but that has got a lot of possibility there. We're going to talk more about that as well. So there we are, folks. Maybe Incognito could get in contact with MV, and we can get that cooking. But those are the votes at the moment. So PDDC. Oh, it's coming through the middle there. And, of course, Remember and Beast I'm pretty sure they were leading yesterday. And they're huge communities. They're dominating, as I say, OG WebChef dominating the printer space there. But PDDC has been a powerhouse on Pulse Chain for months after months after months, being one of the best performers. So maybe that's not a surprise, especially after it had a big pullback and it started rallying again. So this is going to be fun to see that play out too. Remember, PDC has a 5% tax. And it's got a 5 allocations of that tax, I think it is. So we're going to keep watching out for that. So that is the results at the moment. So definitely make sure you get onto that. And I'm going to post this poll in the chat there in case you guys want to see it. Hey, if you're over on Rumble, if you could post this link as well, it'd be really, really, really good. So definitely check that out. All right, let's post that too. We got this here. We got bam. That is the poll. So definitely get in the poll. Still 8 hours to go. Get your token, if your favorite token out of that list, get it in there at the moment. Now, big shout out to Sharimi there. We have bad weather here in Texas. Oh, that's a shame. I wish you the very best. Fortunately for me, we got fantastic weather here, and I know that Wookie is in the South Island somewhere, enjoying his weather probably as well. So pretty cool. All right. Thanks for posting the links over there, Brian, on Rumble. And a big shout out to Rumble community. You guys are crushing it over there and doing pretty fun. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the show. And we're trying to bring real quality content and having fun with it at the same time, right? Having fun as well. Wookie says PDC. Yeah. Don't have any printed tokens. I run a node and liquidity, says DGen. Yeah. Well, hey, look, doing a safer pools is definitely a good play. And of course, sometimes having a good diversified portfolio in crypto is also a good way of making capital gains as well. All right, so let's jump into some of the printers list. So this is our printers list here. You can see all the tokens. How many I've got in here? I've got 20 LP pools, but there's probably maybe 15 tokens on this list. So we've got at the moment the best performer. I've got Treasury here, Hearts Treasury. And of course, these are all slightly different, right? It's all slightly different. But let's have a look at Treasury Hearts here. Now you can get it if you don't understand the token. You can, if they have a website, you can check the website. You can check Twitter, and you can sort of you got to understand it before you get involved with it. But you can see this chart's looking pretty amazing. Treasury. It's called Hearts Treasury. This is a little different, of course. It's only been around for 5 days, so take that note. It's got a lot of rockets, so people are liking it. It's got a quick intel, of course. It's got some. Typically, these protocols have got someone managing them, so you might see suspicious functions in there. But has got renounced ownership apparently, but there are some functions that you might want to check out. But the rest of it looks pretty good. It's probably a pretty well-known team, so you can check out on Telegram and Twitter and things like that. But it says Hearts Treasury is going to revolutionize the way we earn Hex yield in Pulse Chain. What is the value proposition that Treasury offers? Well, currently Hex yield is extremely low and only beneficial for large and long-term stakers, and staking EHEX is too expensive. Treasury offers the solution to both. You can earn from 1% to 100% daily ROI. So pretty impressive, right? This is why I said, crypto traders are making massive gains over here on Pulse Chain. Treasury has a reserve that receives 1% of all Pulse from transactions which it can use to buy and burn Treasury tokens, add liquidity, and expand LP web, just like PDC. So just like PDC does. Of course, we talked about that. So that's winning that poll, right? So PDC is currently, at the moment, still 8 hours to go. So people can get their votes in. And it might change by tomorrow when I cover the final results. But PGC, they're winning the day at the moment. Hearts Treasury also burns OG and pump, increases deflation with every transaction, total supply 1 billion. And of course, this looks like it was launched on pump ties. And of course, similar to that. We got 7. I don't know if it is because it's got a lot of controls on it. You normally don't have that on pump ties. We got 7% total tax. 60% is burned. So even though it's got 1 billion tokens, 60% is burned. And I checked that on the blockchain. It has been burned. It's gone to a burn address. This is an index token for Hex lovers. So there we go. That is one token there. You can check all the details out. But I wanted to get into Remember, right? So Remember here, we've got Beast at number 2, sitting at 27.8%. This thing has been an absolute powerhouse. Actually, before I get to Remember, look at this chart on Beast. Look at this thing. This is crazy. Look at that thing. That is insane. So for all of you that have fell off your seat, you can get back up, get back on it. But that is pretty crazy. That's the hourly chart there. It's gone up pretty aggressively. So it was all the way down at about $6.80. It's now at $16.15. $16.15 there. Let's look at the 4-hourly chart, because the 4-hourly chart is kind of the trader's view. So you want to have a trader's mindset. And yeah, we bounced off the $6.60 mark here all the way back up. We are testing new highs here, but we are looking very good there on the move. So this is very important area. Looks like we kind of busted through 15, which is kind of a resistance line. We did have, though, a sort of a God mode peak here, and that went up to $23.45. So it's going to be interesting to see how we move up towards that. But I think we've probably got a pretty good chance of it. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Now, moving to the daily. So look at the daily here. That's the daily chart. Look at that uptrend. That's pretty insane, right? That's pretty awesome. We got some good uptrend there, looking pretty strong. Let's keep watching this. And of course, you got to remember, Pulse Chain's coming off the bottom, so it's kind of got that general uplift, right, from Pulse Chain. Just like Ethereum, if Ethereum rises, a lot of the coins sort of moved up as a leverage play. but that's doing very well at the moment. And let's have a bit of a read of Beast. So Beast at the moment, unleash the true beast. This token prints. So here's the key thing. This is why we call it printer tokens. This token prints more printers. Printing other printers inside the ecosystem here, and of course, which rewards like a beast. OG Web Chef and OX Hums Gigabrain devs created the next level system. Those are the developers, of course, and of course get these daily rewards just by holding Beast. You get Pulse, you get Remember, you get Missor, and you get gas money. It just drops into your wallet. Just so you go to sleep and it just drops into your wallet. That's pretty much what happens there. Pulse, the backbone of the Pulse chain ecosystem, fueling all transactions and securing network growth. Remember, the ultimate compounding machine. Earn 1% reward. So once you get these these printer tokens into your wallet, they also earn you tokens, particularly if you've got a decent amount of them, right? So the ultimate compounding machine from earn 1% rewards in Pulse just by holding the benefits from volume-based rewards. And we're going to talk about Remember because I want to use that as an example for people to understand printer tokens if they don't already understand them. And like I say, it's kind of an evolution on tax tokens that now includes like arbitrage, webbing, and a few other management features there from the teams. That's kind of the play there. Missor, the deflationary printer, rewards in 96% burned Finvest. The protocol continuously burns supply while distributing rewards, strengthening the ecosystem. Gas Money, another printer token on our list, the newest powerhouse, pays rewards in Pulse and ultra high frequency while also feeding 5% of its rewards directly to Remember holders. And then you got manually compound your rewards by reinvesting them back into the Beast, which generates more printers that yield more percentage in daily dollars. Compounding was seen as the 8th wonder of the world by the super brain Albert Einstein. At least that's what the association is, right? So the technology. How's this all working? Well, reverse liquidity engineering ensures continuous Beast rewards through bots. So you got arbitrage bots operating that generate daily volume. So you got that volume that's key, which increases the yield for all holders, and it gets dropped to your wallet, right? OG cooked some amazing projects that make waves in the crypto scene. That is definitely true. Base Dev, OG Web Chef, and OX Hums. Active members, no rugs, only trustworthy projects like Remember, Missile, Finvestor, Gas Money, Mnemonics, Dominance, and more. Why sell your main bag when you can print passive daily income? So that is the protocol. That's a great summary of this powerhouse, which is dominating, as we saw, Pulse chain at the moment, really doing really well. Look at this chart, Beast, another awesome chart here. Now I want to get into the third best one that's operating at the moment, up 15% on the price. That is Remember, and this thing is doing very well indeed. That is the chart on the daily. So you can see it's really on a up here. We got down to 8 zeros, 5,800. They then pumped all the way up here to 7 zeros, 1,600. Came back down again to 8 zeros, 8,700. Now we're back up at 7 zeros, 1,383. So that is Remember. And as you guys can see, Remember there has got a good breakdown too. Just you scroll down a little bit there, you can see that. And I'm going to get back to the comments in a minute, but here is the breakdown. Remember, the ultimate passive income machine on Pulse Chain. Earn Pulse effortlessly by simply holding. Manually compound your rewards by reinvesting Pulse to grow your holdings. Reverse liquidity engineering shares continuous rewards through strategic supply imbalances. That's very key. Designed for long-term sustainability, make your capital work for you. Forget chasing the pump. So there we go. So some of the same narrative there from OG Web Chef there. And look at that art. That artwork's pretty cool. Pretty badass there as well. Which are pretty cool. So that gets you to the website, actually. If you hit that goes to Bill, so that's the wrong website. I've got to go back up here. Wrong artwork. There we are. So that is Remember. That is it. So you earn Pulse rewards just by holding. So remember, Pulse is the main fee coin on Pulse Chain, and that is the one founded by Richard R. Now, what happens is that there are a couple of tracking sites, right? So there is OG Printers track.lovable. So I'm going to post this in the chat too, because you really do want to check out some of this. So this is how to track your printers for the Finvestor ecosystem. So let's type this track printers portfolio, and that's for the Finvestor ecosystem. So we're going to post that. Let's check that out as well. So let me post that. That is the first link. So tracks. So you definitely want to save that to your favorites if you've got these. Remember, you're getting these tokens dropped to you. So as you can see here, it's got the best gainers at the moment: Beast, Gas Money, and then of course it's got the biggest losers: Finfire, Finboost, and then it's got the burn statistics for different tokens. Got the Finvestor one there. It's got what's this one here? It's got what's that one? Is that it's a remember, it's got remember, etc. And then it's got a list of all the ROI printers. So this gives you all the details you need. So you can just copy the contracts. You can go and check them all out, do your due diligence, and learn a bit. I'm trying to obviously do the overview, but you can go a bit deeper there and get into the telegrams and things like that. And you got the best yields at the moment. So 24 yields on the price, on the printing. So the tokens are dropping to your wallet. You got the 3-day and the 1 week and the 1 month. So it's giving you all the details about how it's performing. And of course, you could get price appreciation as well, but the price will move around. Obviously, we got Beast there up 6.86% on the 24-hour ROI, so the return on investment. We got Fleximus there at number 2 at $3.43. It also gives you the liquidity breakdown as well, just for the pulse pairs and Rat Pulse. And of course, got Fleximus 3.43% today, so it's amazing ROI on a 24-hour. You got Gas Money here is sitting at 3.36% today. So a lot of people look for 1% a day. These things are doing 3 to 7%. Pretty crazy stuff. You got Mist Token up at 2.5% ROI a day, and then you've got I think Remember there also at 1.29%. So those are all over 1%. And then you've got several other protocols like Dominance and others down the list here as well, which you can check out. So that is tracking that. But then there's another tracker. So these sort of track that. But how do you track like the drops going to your wallet? Well, you can use pulsewatch.lovable.app, right? And I've pasted it in a random account here to show you how that works. So I just picked it off one of the recent buyers in the last 24 hours, and I had to find one that actually was holding the token. And so, yeah, that's what I had to do that. So this is the other site. So definitely save this as well. Those are the 2 sites that you want to save if you want to track tokens within the Finvestor ecosystem, right? And there's a whole ton of lists. They're dominating all the things there. Of course, by OG WebChef, right? So definitely check that out. It's pretty awesome. So these are mad gains. These are doing, so you're earning tokens in your wallet. You go to sleep, you earn tokens, and you wake up and your value's going up there. Now, obviously, the price of the underlying token can move around, but that is kind of where we are at the moment. So now I put this account in. This is a random account. You can see, let's go in here. So I think we got tokens here. 2 hours ago, they bought, they with $1,000 of DAI, they bought 69 billion tokens here of Remember tokens. And they've also bought before, right? They bought some other ones here, $500 worth. So they've been buying a few here, right? And every sort of 30 minutes, they're getting dropped Remember tokens, right? So here they got 45,000 pulse. That's $1.05. They got dropped that. Then another half an hour later, they got a 62,000 pulse, $1.44. Now, if they had a lot of the print tokens, there'll be a lot of transactions in here, right? Some of them drop every couple of minutes, right? Some of them drop every half an hour, like Remember. So they've got different frequencies. Some of them can be irregular as well, depending on what the team's doing there. So that is how it works. And of course, you can see that's doing pretty well. So that is how it tracks. Pretty cool. So you can see them all drop in there, bam, 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 and you can go through see what you earned that night without going through your wallet or your blockchain. So pretty awesome stuff. So that's kind of the thing these days. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's Remember, and it's looking pretty good there at the moment. This is definitely a very popular token, and of course operating at number 3 out of our printer list here at the moment. Now we've also got Gas Money. That's up 14.3%, and that's Gas Money. That's doing pretty well. And I really love the artwork on here. I think you guys can agree. It looks pretty. I don't know. There's something cool about that. Something retro. Something about it. It's got that feel, right? It's got that feel, which is pretty good. Now let's jump over to some of the details there. Look at that chart. This is Beast Token. It's been around for 6 days, 24 hours, and look at that thing go. Let's have a look at what it's got here. So Gas Money delivers gas straight to your tank in the form of Pulse tokens. So just like Remember, you're getting Pulse tokens here. Pretty cool. Just hold Gas Money and earn consistent Pulse drip there. Looking pretty badass. And of course, we saw that on the tracker, how it's performing per day, what ROI you're getting per day. Pretty cool. Now, the other ones we've got is Fleximus. Fleximus here as well, doing like a boss. Let's have a look at that too. So Fleximus, let's have a look at Fleximus. Flex your rewards, vote, earn, yield, repeat. And let's have a look at some of that. That's the chart there. So quite a different looking chart. And let's have a look here. So we got, let's scroll down. It's been around for 3 months and 19 days. Why wait for Christmas when you can live it every day, earn yield every single day without lifting a finger? Just hold Fleximus and watch your rewards roll into your wallet automatically. No more contract interactions. Rewards now distributed 2-3 times a day. So that's why I said some of them have frequencies every couple of minutes. Some of them do half an hour. Some of them have a couple of times a day. slower, but also way more efficient. Obviously, less costs to do that too on the blockchain. Only holders ranked at least on page 7 qualify. So you got to remember that. Got to get on page 7 apparently. So you have to check out the holders list there on the blockchain. But there we go. That is Flexmas there, doing pretty well. They've got heaps of other ones. Of course, we've got Savant here as well. Let's check this one out. I haven't actually checked this one out myself, so this is me doing that live here. You can see the chart there at the moment. It's been around for 3 months and 20 days. So look at this. It doesn't have any additional details there, but that's in the mix as well. What else there? We got Mnemonics. That's up 7% today. Let's have a look at that, $22. Let's have a look at that on the log chart. There's the log chart at the moment. So just come off the bottom. Where did it got up to $163, came all the way down to $12.25, now at $20.58. Let's quickly check that out before I get to the chat there. So you got to go to the website and check stuff out. That is ticking away as well. That's good old mnemonics there. Just earn remember just by holding. So this is where with mnemonics you earn another token. So you earn remember, and what does remember pay you? It pays you pulse. So that's they're interconnected. Some of these are kind of interconnected to each other. So you're not earning pulse, but you're earning other printer tokens like remember, for example. What else? We've got the world's greatest die printer. So we've got that. That's also another one. But before we do that, though, I'm going to get back into the chat here because I want to check out some comments. And we've got some cool stuff happening over on Rumble. So big shout out there. And good to see Jeremy in the chat there. I think you're the first person to really get engaged. And of course, we've only been over on Rumble for about 22 days. And we've had great crowds over there. So that's been awesome. Love to get the engagement. So big shout out to Sharimi there as well. And moderator's doing a great job. Now, let's jump over to some of the comments. I'm going to scroll all the way back up here. I think I may have gone a bit ahead of myself. So let's get into that. We got Shrimi in the house there. Hey, Shrimi, awesome. Showing up here over on YouTube. I think you might have jumped on. We got Neil for Shields says you need to buy or sell a little beast to get the rewards, says Neil. Good observation there for beast. You need to buy or sell a little beast to get the rewards. And OG is the OG, says Wookie. Nice. What else we got in there? NJ says, look, a good looks on the Pulse Watch portfolio tracker. Best one since DBank stopped integrating. That's true. That's a very good app, right? Very good app. And that is the Pulse Watch one you're talking about there. TTY, you're welcome, Sharimi, and great to have you in the community for sure. Listening on both X and chatting on Rumble. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Man, you're across all three platforms there, X, YouTube, and Rumble. We're streaming to them all now, and it's great to have a big community in the house there as well. So we're hitting new numbers all the time. So we're getting bigger and bigger audiences every single day, and you guys make it possible. So a big shout out to everybody. And yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Now, the next big thing's going to happen tomorrow is I'm probably going to get a haircut. I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow, so that could be pretty good. We're going to have Superman 2.0. Superman 2.0. New improved. I'm going to have to fly all the way back to Krypton to get my haircut, but that's just the way it goes. All right, so that is the world's greatest printer there. So it's kind of cool. Now, we've got some others in the house here as well. We've got Mist. Mist at the moment. That is doing pretty well. Now I'll post the list. I'll post this list in. Now you can obviously get it in the protocol there, but I've got other tokens not in the Finvest ecosystem, and I'll post this list in the Superman's Crypto Gems, so you'll be able to see them there, and you can add them to your favorites as well, and keep them on your watch list, for example. So here we go. We got this. It's been around for only a couple of days. Been around for 1 day and 21 hours. So this is Mist token. It went right out of the chart. Look at that thing. I'm going to go to the 4-hourly chart because it kind of shows you how that's operated. That's how it's operated there. Ticking away as well. So that is another token there. It's doing pretty well, and you can obviously go and check it out on the details there. Let me jump over to what else we got here. We got dominance. We're going to talk about dominance. So there's dominance here on Pulse Chain, and we're going to get down there. That is the chart. Let me go to the 4-hourly. That's 4-hourly. So it looks like we're coming off the bottom here. So this has already had a lot of excitement in this protocol. It's obviously come down all the way down here. Got up to $4.33. Its first low was 90 cents. Got to $4.35. Bottomed out at 44 cents and now back up at 65 cents. So, the next target for this would be 81 cents. That's probably the logical target there. So we keep a lookout for that. And you can see dominance is the number one P-wrap Bitcoin. So when Pulse Chain forked Ethereum on the 10th of May, 2023, it copied over a full system state of Ethereum. So all the tokens over on Ethereum got copied over to Pulse Chain at that date, right? Not anything new since that date, but we've obviously had a lot of projects launch like these printer tokens on Pulse Chain. They're all brand new. They're not fork copies. But this is going to reward you in the fork token, wrapped Bitcoin, right? So wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum is a custodial version of the Bitcoin. So they have the custodial holds real Bitcoin from the Bitcoin network and issues wrapped Bitcoin right over on Ethereum, and it's a smaller supply, right? And so that's all got copied over to Pulse Chain. And so over here, it's going to be interesting to see how that prices up as Bitcoin does a rally, right? As Bitcoin goes to 150, 250, or whatever it goes to, what will the wrapped Bitcoin on Pulse Chain go to, right? Now it has some issues, potentially some of the pools related to PDI, but it's still by itself probably the best copy, potentially, well, maybe not just the best, but one of the top, let's say, copies over on Pulse Chain that could do pretty well on the Bitcoin narrative. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. Now, and with the dominance, you earn, it's the number one wrapped Bitcoin passive income compounding machine built for automatic rewards and self-sustaining growth on Pulse Chain with 2.1% wrapped Bitcoin rewards, 1.4% Pulse buybacks, and 1% auto LP stacking, and of course, is 0.5% self-burn and ensures compounding profits, liquidity reinforcement, and deflationary strength powered by OG Chef again, obviously dominating this whole space here for Investor. A well-known benevolent dev and founder of Investor, dominant sets the standard for automatic wealth generation there. Now, obviously, your capital movement with the price that's moving around this is going to be a lot more volatile than some of the other ones we've been looking at. So you do have to, obviously, there's a bottom of the cycle, there's a top of the cycle, there's an uptrend, there's a downtrend. So you do have to look at the chart and make some assessment about that versus the printing airdrops you're getting, right? So just take that into account. That does still matter, right? This does matter a lot, big time, right? So you still got to use your normal trading view for that. So just remember that on each individual ones. You have to assess each printer on its own merits, right? And have a look at the chart too, because you want to get a good entry, etc. as well. So obviously the volume that's going through is important for paying you out your airdrops. They're going to your wallet, right? So to speak, or printing to your wallet, let's say. So we got that. We went to dominance. We got Incognito. This is a different team altogether. This is an OG web chef. I think this is Cabell, if I remember rightly. And this is the chart. So obviously this has been around for quite a while. It's 4 months and 8 days. This is one of the longer charts on here. I think it's the longest one we've looked at so far. This has been around since the 8th of December last year. And you could have seen it had a big hyper rally, right? What did it open up at? Opened up at 2/10 of a no, actually, was it was it 20th of 1/10, I think it is. So 0002, we'll just call it that. And it had a big rally all the way up to 1.1 cents, so a pretty massive rise there. And of course, it's had a big downtrend, a big super downtrend here. Seems to have bounced off 0001900, now at 00026 at the moment. And this is ticking away there. So Incognito is a deflationary token designed to benefit Pulse Chain holders by ensuring growth and passive income with a fixed supply of 1 billion tokens. Scarcity and value retention are at the heart. Now, every transaction plays a role in the ecosystem. 0.5% fee is burned on every buy and sell, actively reducing the total supply. And of course, additionally, 1/6 of these fees is allocated to a buy and burn of ink, further driving deflation. Holders are rewarded with 4.5% of each transaction reflected back in ink. An auto staking mechanism that grows your holdings. Liquid providers earn more with 2x rewards in ink, making it highly rewarding to support the liquidity pools. To support the ecosystem, the Treasury Vault automatically buys, burns, and adds liquidity, ensuring sustainable long-term growth. Contract ownership has been renounced, guaranteeing Incognito operates transparently without the risk of changes. So there we go. That is an overview, and you can definitely check out more on the website. And of course, we're going to have a quick look at that too. We've got Crypto Bros in the house there. Big shout out to Crypto Bros. We're going to talk more about Crypto Bros coming up. And, of course, TGIS, absolutely. And we've got Brian in there as well, getting excited. Woohoo! Let's go. All right, let's jump into it. So we got Incognito at the moment. Welcome to the real world. You got to be pretty – this is pretty cool artwork with the Matrix combination there. And, yeah, we've got liquidity burned. We've got up the top. We've got no admin keys. Earn ink tokens. So this was huge, right? Real popular. Obviously, people want to earn ink. Now, obviously, ink's come down a lot, right? So ink has come down a ton. All right. So that is the case. So ink has come down, and so I guess the interest in dominance from that point of view is lower. And of course, ink token there. We're going to come back to that. But ink token obviously has come down to about $1.15, $1.20. And of course, that used to be super high at the beginning when there was not much supply. There's 55 million coins now. But if you believe in Pulse Chain, the ink token could really have a big rally in the future, given the small liquidity. So, you got to have a long perspective on this. but definitely check that. You can paste your address in here on incognito as well, and just like we did for the Finvestor ecosystem tokens that we saw covering printer, and you can paste those in for your awards, and it's got a lot more details in here as well. Very cool website. I mean, we must agree, this looks really good. It's got the breakdown of the taxes that are on the token, and it's also got the tokenomics itself, which is pretty cool. Ink holder airdrop, 1% airdrop to non-ink holders who participated in the 72-hour airdrop giveaway. So that's pretty cool. So you can definitely check that out. All the details, not bad, not bad. All right, so that is from Incognito, looking good. Now, the other ones we're going to look at about here as well. We talked about PDC, the Greys, right? This has been one of the best performers on Pulse Chain, and this is pretty cool. So this is kind of, in many ways, led the way for these protocols to really do well. And this has done absolutely like a boss. Look at this chart. This chart was mind-blowing. Let's have a look here. Let's go to the weekly on this chart because it's been around for quite a while. Yeah, 1 year, 5 months. This is the longest one out of all these tokens and the printer list that we've got here. And look at that. I'm going to go to the weekly though, just to close that up a little bit there. That's the weekly chart. This thing is a boss. Look at that thing. And of course, this is currently leading the polls, right? So that is kind of the general uptrend, I guess. And look at this. Pretty impressive, right? So we had a big rally. It has a significant pullback. So let's call that out. But look at this thing. So it got all the way up to 1300th of a penny and has come back down to 1800. That's 86% rebounds pullback there. So that's a big. If you bought the top, that's a lot. 86%, right? That's massive. You basically wiped off 80%, 86%. But it's really looking like it's bounced at the support level, right? So this is because we're at resistance at 00017, and it looks like it's bounced right off that point, and it's had a big rally today. Over the last week, I should say, from 1800 to 2700. So it's really had a nice bounce here. And of course, it's got some nice little next targets of 4,300 from my point of view and 5,600. So if it breaks that, it's going to really start heading towards that all-time high again and really recover a lot of that value. Now, remember, it's got a 5% tax on it, and you can go to the website and check that out. But this is definitely looking like a good call. And so if Pulse rallies from the bottom and the ratio of PDC to Pulse rallies, it's really going to go up, and you're also going to earn all those taxes on the way, right? That's the idea. Now, it has a very big DAO, so it's got a big DAO in this protocol, and it's sitting on a 4.7 billion Pulse, so that's pretty awesome. And remember, Pulse is the main coin fee there. It's got PDC statistics, and it's also got UFO. So UFO is like the child token, and that's doing really well. And PDC, the Greys, is like the parent here. And the cool thing I like about it, they've got this cool alien setup here, which is pretty cool. So it looks like they've burnt 12% of the PDC supply so far. They're projected to burn another 16% over the next six months. So this is all ticking away pretty nicely there. Looking pretty good there as well. All right, so if I'm missing that, oh, sorry, I've moved away from the chart. My bad. Let's go back to the chart there. I apologize for that. So this is the PDC. So I have to show that again. This is the chart here. Thanks for that. I just caught that just in time. Thanks, guys. I see all your comments in there. All right, so this is the chart here, and you can kind of see it's pretty upward chart. In fact, let's go to the full screen since I missed the chart there. Let's go full screen. Let's go full FOMO mode. Full FOMO mode, guys. And of course, here we are with a massive, massive uptrend here on PDC the Greys, but it did have a massive pullback. And so let me just review that one more time very quickly. Came down all the way down to about 67% pullback. So if you've got bought near the top, that is a massive, massive change in your portfolio value, obviously. But it is bouncing back. So if you're just hodling, you don't care, right? You ride through the big swings. And of course, people that have been in Hex before know all about that. And so here we are at the moment. We're up off that bottom there at 78%. So we're up 78%. So it's pretty mad gains if you got into that. And as I say, this is had good resistance here. That resistance has become essentially support there as well. And so the next targets, as you would say, would be 4,300. So around here. And the next target would be on the horizontal. Also just slightly higher here at 5,300 here. And then once it breaks that, it's going to try to attack the all-time high, right, which is 1,300th of a penny. Pretty amazing. So that's kind of cool there. But let's get rid of these overlays and let's switch it over to Rat Pulse because this has really been the big story, right? So the Rat Pulse there, look at that. So it was all the way down at about 7/10 of a penny. It started off very low at the beginning, obviously very fractionally low, but it had a big breakout. And eventually it got to here. So I'm going to put a little chart on here. I want to show this, how powerful this is. This is one of the best protocols performing on Pulse Chain, and it was incredible. Incredible by how it was happening, and it broke 1-to-1. So in other words, one PGC was worth one Pulse. Pulse is the main coin for Pulse Chain, the fee coin, and then it just rallied. Look at that, hyper rallied all the way from 1-to-1, went all the way up to 22.68 Pulse per one PGC. Wow. That's all we can say about that, right? That is crazy. That is crazy. I see what Wookie's got on Rumble. He's got all these ambulance lights. That's hilarious, dude. That's hilarious. Yeah. My bad for not showing the chart there. But this PDC, the grays, look at that. And now it's back up. So it bounced down. It came all the way down. Let's have a look at the ratio on that, because that's crazy, right? That's crazy. But this is definitely one of the best ecosystems. I think they, despite the big pullback, they have quite a solid, large community. And it's down 65% at the moment, but it has bounced off that ratio versus its Pulse ratio. And it is up 55%. Now, just a little bit of a trader's tip out there. If you're looking at charts and you're relatively new, you should definitely look at the ratio, right? So the main fee coin, like on Ethereum, would be ETH. So you look at the ratio to ETH. The main fee coin on Pulse Chain is Pulse, or Rat Pulse in this case, which is the DeFi version, right? You've got to look at that ratio to see how's this token performing against the main fee coin, right? Because you always want to outperform the main fee coin. Because if the fee coin goes up 10x and you're going up 5x versus the fee coin, then that's 15x. You're up 15x. So you definitely want to do that. So it's very important for that. There we are, $12. Sorry, the ratio of 12. So it's now with 12. So it's come up a lot there. And if we look at the ratio, it's very cool. So we're up 50% there at the moment. So pretty awesome, right? Did I say 15? I mean, what was it? Did I say 10 and 5? So what was that, 50x? I think you're up for a lot there. So pretty awesome. All right, so that is PDC, and that is performing like a boss, and you can check that out. And as I said to you on here, it's winning the poll at the moment. We've got 162 votes, looking pretty amazing there as well. Now, Crypto Bros says, "Wow, look how it came back to the prediction trend line." Says Crypto Bros. That's very good insight there. All right, so let's check it out. So that's kind of cool. And I just realized I hadn't finished my list. So let me just go back to my list here. I forgot to do that. So I was actually going through the list here. So let me jump back, and we're going back to it. So printers, and let me just get into the zone now. We had a couple more left, right? So I think it's moved around a little bit there, but we had this Missile as well. I don't think we talked about Missile, and I think we're almost done with the list. So that is Missile there. Let's go to the 4-hourly there. And we're at 2.2 cents there at the moment. That is kind of where we are on Missile. That is Missile there. Look, pretty cool graphics. And of course, let's have a look at the details there. So with Missile, you earn scarce Finvesta. So Finvesta is kind of like the parent token of all these, right, from OG WebChef. By simply holding Missile, Finvesta is the main coin on the OG WebChef ecosystem, which supply was burned 95.55%. So Finvesta has had a massive burn on that. There are only 555 million coins left, less whatever else they've got, while daily mechanics and tokenomics burn even more Missile to make it even more rare. Manually compound your Finvesta, so it's very important there. Back into more Missile, which generates more percentage in the daily yield. Compounding was seen as the 8th wonder of the world. It's got reverse liquidity engineering like the other protocols, designed for long-term sustainability. The ecosystem is developed and bonded to the Atropa system there. So that's probably the only issue, obviously, with the issue around the Atropa dev dumping and, what exactly that guy's doing. So James Maria, we'll see. But apart from that, the chart is ticking away. Let's have a look at the daily. This chart's been around for how long? This chart's been around for 5 months and 14 days. So it's been around, one of the earlier ones in this whole Finvesta ecosystem, which looks like it's been around for about 6 months or so. So that is the ticker there. Let's have a look at the log chart. Here's the log chart there on the daily, and you can see it's been moving around from about 3700 of a penny all the way up recently to 6.8 cents. Came back down again to 6 tenths of a penny. Now it's back up 2.2 cents. So there's quite a bit of volatility in there. Just take them into account. But you are earning Missile tokens, which is giving you. You are earning Finvesta tokens, which is the main parent token there. And you can see the website, right? So the website will be here. I'm pretty sure this is a separate one. That's the website there for Missile. But you can also get to the main site there as well for Finvesta, which we're going to go to. So let's go to Finvesta website on that link as well. Now I will post this. I'll post this whole list of printer tokens in the Superman Crypto Gems. So you definitely want to check that out. and I'm going to make sure I post that there. That's going to be on Superman's Crypto Gems. Definitely get into that chat there, and just what to say. We're going to have we've got a free alpha list on there. It's got some of the best farms, printer tokens, a lot of other cool tokens on there. We curate it regularly, and so you're going to get some of the best tokens and performance in there. Definitely worth getting in there. And of course, we're going to grow, and you guys make that happen. So definitely, once you get in there, type /link, and you'll be able to get your own referral link and share that around so that you get to share that love to a lot of other people in crypto as well. And what's the goal there? We're trying to match up the best teams and the best people with projects to get the best outcome for everybody, a win-win. And Pulse Chain's coming off the bottom, and it's got thinner liquidity pools. We could see some magic on Pulse Chain. It's going to be a lot of fun in the future. We'll get our golden time for sure. Pretty exciting. All right, so that's Finvestor there. You can obviously see Finvestor itself as the parent token. It's got a 4% burn tax and 1% Finvestor reflections go back to holders. That is kind of the parent of all that OG Web Chef stuff. And of course, you can check out the DApp there as well on that one. So that's kind of the home, sweet home there. Look at that animation. Oh man, that is awesome. That is awesome there. Look at that. Welcome to crypto, man. It's like pretty neat. So that is that's the parent of the parent there. That's where it all kind of began, and looking pretty good. So check all that stuff out. Pretty amazing. Get into Telegrams, obviously, to get part of the community there and learn more. At the moment, of course, we've got the latest and greatest. Let's do a refresh of this and see what that's at. So we've got 162 votes. We're almost at 1,000 votes. We've only got 4 more left. 4 more left votes. So if you're new, I'm going to post this in the chat again. So you get in that vote. We're going to hit over 1,000 views on that, and let's see if we can get to 200 votes or 250 votes by the time we're finished. Share that around, right? Share that post around. Get your community to vote. So if you're in any of these communities, if you're in Remember or Beast, if Investor ecosystem, share that around because you guys need to catch up to PDC right now. If you're PDC and you want to keep your lead, share that around. And of course, if you're in Incognito, caballing that out there, then you need to do some work and get your community active there on that one and start pushing that out. But that's pretty awesome. So kind of cool. Let's jump out of here. We're going to get into on X here. Don't forget to give us a follow here on X. Now, I used to have a big account on X, but unfortunately, X, without any reason, took it down. So I'm starting from scratch. So you guys have to help out here. Smash the follow, share it around, get people to join, and of course, join up today. Now, we're obviously we're now streaming on X now too, and I think we can see that on here. Yeah, there we go. There's a oh, well, who's that guy? There's that guy on there, and of course you can see Superman in there as well. Who's going to have a haircut by tomorrow? I'm going to have a haircut by tomorrow. So it's getting a bit crazy here. I feel like I'm going back to the 80s, 1980s or something, which is cool. It was the best decade for sure, but we're now not there. It's gone. That time's gone. We're in the 2020s now. Heading for the 2030s. Can you believe it? We're really moving forward there, aren't we? Pretty crazy times, but definitely checked out. Hey, look, we've got Infinity. That's Pulse Chain, man. Infinity in the printer options there, and that's pretty cool. All right, so get on that, folks, and give us a follow as well. Nice. All right, so that's kind of the play there. So that's PDC. How are we doing for time? An hour and 18 minutes. I think we're going to wrap it up there. We've got an awesome community. I think we've got 60 on YouTube. We've got about 11 or 12 over on Rumble at the moment. Sometimes we have up to 60 on Rumble. It's been crazy over there on some days. Of course, it's the laziest time of the day. And we've got, I don't know how many we had on X there, but looks like we've got about 80 people, maybe a bit more watching. So big shout out to all you guys out there. You guys make this possible. Don't forget to smash the follow button on Rumble. Smash the follow on X. Definitely hit the subscribe button on Pulse Chain. Share the channels around because we're covering the hottest stuff on Pulse Chain. And hey, look, we're bringing the heat. We're bringing the energy. We've got so much stuff we're going to be doing over the next week or two. You guys just don't know. We are going to be covering it over and over. We're going to get into all the little nitty gritties. We're going to bring the biggest X projects. We're going to bring the biggest yield. We're going to match the teams with the people and get the best results for everybody. And we're coming off the bottom of Pulse Chain. This could be mega huge. And of course, everyone's looking for that big crypto run. Imagine when that starts as well, altcoin season. So we're tracking that. That's why we do the coverage at the beginning of the show on the market. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll see you in the Discord. The links are in the video description. I'll see you in the gem on Telegram, Superman Crypto Gems. And I'll see you on X, YouTube. And of course, we'll probably do another stream later on today. So check us out. We're going to do a double stream It's going to be fun, and I've got a topic for that already. The topic for the next show is the top 5 projects coming to Pulse Chain. You don't want to miss that, and that's coming up as well. I'm going to go into the deep dive on that, when they're going to be launching and what they're going to bring to Pulse Chain. So don't miss that. It's going to be absolutely awesome, because we love crypto and we love community. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, I will catch you later on today with the top 5 projects coming to Pulse Chain, and they are big, mega projects. This is not little stuff. This is not little tiny stuff that I just made up in my garage. This is the real thing. All right, so let's wrap it up here. We got Wookie says, yeah, now that's an infinity loop. It definitely is. Great show, boss, says Brian. Big shout out to you. And a big shout out to Wookie and Brian. They're both our 2 community leaders in our Discord and YouTube and on Rumble and on X, and they do an amazing job. So really appreciate you guys. And, of course, all the moderators in our team. Big shout out to you as well. And a big shout out to MVS lately. He's just doing amazing stuff. So big shout out to you as well. Just keep up the great work, MVS, and many of the other moderators like Brendan and others too. Enjoyed your show, says Sharia Mia. I appreciate that. And a big shout out to you. You have got the trophy for the first comment on the Rumble. We've been getting huge views on Rumble. But hey, look, over on Rumble, get into the chat there, get into the community. You guys have a lot of great opinions, so I'd like to hear from you as well. And if you want to join our Discord Strategy Club community membership, lots of different options to join up today to get into the Alpha Club there. Tita in the house there says, Lil Cryptia. I saw that. Big shout out to you, and great to have you in the house there as well. It looks like we're heading towards about 100 people on the watching the live, so big shout out to everybody, and I'll catch you on the next show later on today, so don't miss it. Top 5 projects on Pulse Chain. It's going to be epic. Peace out, everybody. Take care and enjoy your weekend. It's sunny down under here in New Zealand, and I hope you keep yourself warm in the north, and I'll catch you later on in probably about 5 hours time, something like that, for the top 5 projects coming to Pulse Chain, and they are mega cool. All right, take care. Bye for now.